Thanks for staying with us here on TVC Breakfast. It's now time for us to look at what the papers are reporting. A quick sneak peek through the papers. First, we have the Nation newspaper. If you look at the above the masthead, we have herdsmen kill 33 in Benue. The next paper, Leadership newspaper. Again, suspected herders kill 48 Benue farmers. Family in tears buries 11 members in one day. The next paper, Daily Trust, speaks to the flood. Mokwa flood. Death toll hits 200, over 500 missing. The Punch newspaper reports on politics. Wike's Tinubu endorsement sparks opposition firestorm. PDP bigwigs, opposition parties split over minister's stance. The next paper, Blueprint newspaper, Atiku, Amaechi, El-Rufai united by desperation for power. APC, Wike saying that. This Nigeria, ex-governor Amaechi hungry for power, not food. That's according to Wike. And Daily Independent still speaks to that. No one can expel me from PDP. Wike dares party leaders. The Guardian newspaper has taken us to the Citadel of Learning, where it says, publish or perish. 97% of public varsities default in online visibility, transparency order. The Hope newspaper, 100 days, Aidatiwa flags of dualization of 27 kilometers Igbokoda Okitipupa Road, says road crucial to proposed Port Ondo. And the last but not least, Sporting Life, Russia versus Nigeria, which is coming up on Friday. Injuries, family issues, cripple Eagle squad. Chikweze, Ndidi, Iheanacho, Aina, Omar out. Withdrawals, alter Shell's army. Guys, let's dissect these papers. If you look at the Nation newspaper and the one that follows the Leadership newspaper, talks about they talk about the issue of the killing that happened in Benue State. We talked about it, in recent times, about so many people dying. On the front page of the Nation newspaper, we have herdsmen killing 33 in Benue, and then Leadership says 48 killed among the Benue farmers.
Yeah, when I say Nigeria is bleeding, it's not figurative, it's literal. People are dying. People are dying so much. And at times I wonder, where else do people just die the way they are dying in Nigeria? One paper is saying it's 33, the other one is saying it's 40, and so on and so forth. It happened 2 weeks ago. It's happening again today. Who are these headers? Are they faceless? How come they are so difficult to apprehend? It is really sad. We've not finished talking about the super tragedy in Mokwa, and we are talking about 33 people dead or killed by killer headers, and at times it gets really annoying.
That's right. Veronica, and they said that 1,385 children recruited by Boko Haram in 2 years. And you'll be thinking, who in their right senses want to join Boko Haram?
What's the option you've given to them? What else is available to them as option? Are they in schools? This same Boko Haram cannot allow the students go to school. Recall that some time ago, former governor of Kaduna State had to shut down schools in Kaduna so as to address this matter of insecurity, because a number of children were being attacked in their schools, and some of them were even kidnapped, as the case may be at the time. We've seen a number of people, even in the northeast, the northwest, being kidnapped because of this whole matter. What is the option these children have? The parents are seemingly helpless. They do not know what to do. And so it is easy for these persons to recruit these children because the parents and their families are threatened.
Especially the fact that they are also faced with poverty.
Absolutely. And so if they are offering them security and they are offering them monies and food and whatever it is, and they are also brainwashing them on whatever it is they are fighting for, these children will tilt to their direction, and because they are young, they do not know what to do. They don't know the left from their right. They do not know the right decision to take or make. So until we start giving them options, the right options, then it will be difficult for these people to recruit them. Right. Until then we'll still have this matter right on our hands.
But Veronica, my sadness is, even when you're in dire situations, poverty, we know what is happening. It's so sad to see that, these people are being recruited to destroy the country, because I'll put it in that way.
Yeah.
We understand that they are young children and everything, but like the fact that I don't want us to like just say, oh, because they don't have good environment, they are suffering, so they are brainwashing them and they are joining Boko Haram to destroy the country. I don't want us to
find yourself in that.
I know, but I don't want to, I know, but I don't want us to put it in that light, you know, because it's sad. These people are coming back to kill and destroy the same Nigeria.
That's the true
For me,
picture.
I believe that in terms of insecurity, I just think that the government needs to really hammer on insecurity. The tragedy is too much in Nigeria. We'll talk about flood, we'll talk about insecurity, talk about people dying. You know, at 7 p.m., people are just in their houses and you know, people are being killed.
That's
it's
right.
really sad. And to agree with what you said, I think that we also need to start providing, you know, for these children as well. Because we understand that desperate times call for desperate measures, but it's just really sad to see that somebody will give you bread to destroy, you know, your own country at the end of the day.
Before you move on to the next, let me just quickly say the story. I know someone who went to Chibok when the matter happened at the time that the girls were kidnapped. And the picture that this person painted was grim, was bad and sad. These people were practically helpless. What do you do? That's why I said, may we not find ourselves in that situation, because when if you are faced with that situation, it's like you have no other option. And that is what makes these people just fall in line.
Absolutely. And when you're hungry, everything makes sense to you.
That's it.
Let's move on to the Punch newspaper, which talks about politics. If you look at the blueprint as well, This Nigeria, Daily Independent, I think just those 4 papers, you know, they're looking at the security, politics of things. Wike now endorsing the president, and he's also saying that ex-governor Amaechi hungry for power, not food. If you recall, Amaechi on his 60th birthday, you know, saying that he was hungry. So in my mind, I was thinking, okay, maybe we should do crowdfunding.
Wike knows how to be on the front pages of newspapers. The man, in fact, is, when you just mentioned that name, you're thinking of controversy already. But on the serious side, he has every right to endorse who he wants to endorse. You know, he has every right to support who he wants to support. You know,
Have you forgotten he's a member of the PDP?
Yes, being a member of the PDP doesn't mean you cannot support a president that is from the APC. You know, that is not, there's nothing against that. But where I think there's a little bit of, are you sure, are you not sure, is when he said nobody can expel him from the PDP. Well, that we have to wait and see. And for him to come out and say something like that, there are things he knows, things he has, you know, that you and I may not know, that's giving him that kind of confidence. And the funniest of them all concerning Wike and the things that are on the pages of the newspaper today is when he asked Bode George to read newspapers if he doesn't have a job.
Well, it's just big facts that you expect. Veronica, if you know Wike, whether it can be expelled or not, but one thing, fact remains that he controls a large supporters in River State and some other parts of the country. He also, you know, one of the strongest financiers when it comes to helping the party. And if he's expelled, you know what? It could be suicidal for the PDP.
I don't know. I do not belong to PDP. Let me clear it, because the way you're asking me that.
No, it's just from
I get your point. I get your point. I just wanted to throw that out there. You see, I love our kind of democracy that we play, and the kind of party politics we play, that you can be in another party and support another party member, so to speak. It's no longer anti-party politics. It is that you are being the politician in the Nigerian way.
It's a government of national unity, isn't it?
Some of these things happen just in Nigeria.
Unity. Why not? We have people who have been appointed. Of course, they cannot say that they will not support their principal.
Progress of the country.
Very good, very good. But how is that helping our democracy? That's always my question.
That's right.
Wike is who he says he is, and if he says you cannot suspend him, you cannot, because if they wanted to suspend him out of the party, they should have done that even before now. The moment he started supporting the president in 2023, yes, they should have done that. But you see, the party in its own right and the kinds of things that he has been saying, a majority of them know that they do not have the moral standing to take that step. And if they do, Wike will show them where they belong. So as it is, it's unfortunate that the party has gotten to this point where it's now struggling to hold the thread of the party together. Look at what he's saying about Amaechi and Bode George. Look at the very things he has said. Some of those things, it's mind-boggling that persons who you feel have been in politics over the years have not been able to do so much to hold the party together and also bring a lot to the table for the party. Well, I also like the fact that he cleared the air regarding Rivers State, the declaration of a state of emergency. He is not in support of it, but the president has made that declaration, and so be it. Whenever the president likes, let him, you know, take that of 6 months. So we are counting down. And he also spoke to regarding the governor, the suspended governor of Rivers State, saying that, oh, it is because he was listening to his detractors and all of that, if I may use that word. But what I seemingly I'm not really happy about is the fact that he is in another party and then carrying out anti-party politics. What are we teaching the younger generation that will come afterwards? He can support whoever he wants to support. It's in his right. But what are we passing on to the younger generation that we are trying to teach?
Others may disagree that he's carrying out anti-party activities, because remember you said they had an agreement, especially with him and the other G5 members, and that Sheyi Makinde, for instance, reneged on his promise. So
but does that mean that he should also decide
no, he said he's fighting for justice.
He's fighting for justice. Is that how you fight for justice? Is that how you get justice?
But just to add to it, I don't know why people are surprised. He has said it that he will lead the election in 2027. He did it in 2023.
No, he's in his right.
So why are people surprised? And that's what I see, that a lot of comments on social media are surprised. Like, we expected it. I expected it. And to, just agree a bit with what Veronica said, I do not understand. I'm still trying to understand it, that you are in one party. First of all, he said that he's not going to join any peace deal for the party. We spoke about it on this table. And now he's saying again, you cannot expel me from the party. So people are now saying, what do you really want with the PDP? Like, we really want to understand it, because you're not coming together for peace deals. You're not coming together for peace deal, and you are saying that they cannot expel you. And with what Etoma said as well, I'm sure that there are some underlying factors that we do not know about. That's why this PDP as well, they cannot take the step to just take him out. Because I feel like it's the final time that they take him out that the party will just finally go down.
Let's move on to the Guardian newspaper. Which reads, publish or perish. 97% of public varsities default in online visibility transparency. And the story actually, says that despite the May the 31st deadline issued to federal government, federal institutions to disclose key financial and institutional data on their website, 70 out of 72 federal tertiary institutions have yet to comply fully with the transparency order. So this is a citadel of learning, which is also expected to impart or inculcate character and learning in the students, but they are not obeying the order to show transparency and visibility.
When we mention the word corruption, we do not know the magnitude of damage that word carries. It is everywhere. It is everywhere. Everywhere. Universities are supposed to be institutions that keep records as if their life depends on it. So if there's an order that says publish your financial records in your website, it shouldn't take 2 minutes for it to be done. But you see, 90 what percent?
97%. They didn't comply. Just 3% out of the 97%.
That's because they have. That's because they have to do some arithmetic, some addition, multiplication, and do some editing, and so on. And so they just don't have the time.
Veronica, part of it also said that they asked this key institutional data to be disclosed on their website, including yearly budgetary allocation, research grants, revenue of the previous year, and the current year allocation from that fund.
So I might want to see it differently in terms of, have they kept records over the years of all of these things that they have been asked to publish? If it's possible that they are not keeping records and just doing things as it comes and goes, and so perhaps that is why they are finding it challenging to publish those records, because you know how we are in this part of the world. We are not too good with keeping records. Data management is a major challenge, and if you do not computerize these things, you're still using paper documents and all of it. Some of those documents might be missing. So how are they communicating that to the federal government to say, oh, we are having this challenge?
Yeah.
Because as it seems, we may not have trusted them to say, oh, it's because they are trying to cover this. But let's give them the benefit of the doubt.
Is that why we have missing scripts? Wait. Is that why we have missing scripts? Because we don't keep data, we don't have the record?
Of course. You've been to several lecturers' offices when you were in school. Do you know, don't you see the array of papers?
Easier for the guys to go to lecturer's office, but not for the ladies.
Just to add, what do you mean?
I don't understand
what you mean.
Mr. Lecturer, don't teach me nonsense.
Just to add to this, we've been talking about accountability. This is time. And I believe that although we see corruption everywhere, but when you see corruption in education, that's a big deal. And why would you not keep records? As an educationist, the most important thing you need to do is to keep records. So you cannot tell me that you did not keep the records.
It's possible.
Like, I don't even want to hear that. I hope they don't come and even say that.
Yeah, we need to go, guys. We need to go.
Because
I wish we had more time.
I wish we had more time for this, because accountability is key. You know what you say to put it on the website? You have to put it on the website.
The possibility of
we need accountability.
Right. So let's see. The Hope newspaper says 100 days either to our flags of dualization of 27-kilometer Igbokoda Okitipupa Road. And I think that should be reviewed much more by the Ondo residents, so the people who will be using the road. And if you look at the last paper, Russia versus Nigeria, which is happening on Ileya Day. Injuries, family issues, cripple Eagle squad. So we are facing Russia this time round.
I'm scared.
We defeated Ghana.
Are we scared? We know we defeated Ghana. We know about that. But are we scared?
We defeated Ghana.
I know, but now it's Russia. I'm scared.
Okay, with the number of players that wouldn't be in the Eagle squad, these are names and motivation for the team. And unfortunately, they wouldn't be playing on that day. And the level of football I saw in the Ghana, Nigerian Ghana, Nigeria, Jamaica, I am not very confident of what the results will be.
Of course, these are challenges that have faced them, maybe because of the fact that they played Ghana, Jamaica back to back, seemingly, and so a lot of tired legs, injuries from there. So, of course, I'm just hoping for the best. I can only hope.
That's right.
And I think it's time that we need to fast. This is when we need to fast for our players. We need to resort to God right now, because Russia is a very powerful team as well. We cannot lie.
You know, Russia is actually facing war, so we might, use that opportunity to defeat
them.
and put more heat on them on the pitch. Do stay with us on TVC Breakfast. President Tinubu is planting seeds for a greener future. Can Nigeria grow its way out of hunger? Join us after the break as we unpack the promises and progress of this bold agricultural drive. See you on the other side.